Welcome to the first poster. This poster will inform you on how we provide shelter for our protesters.
These are the 7 ways we will have a successful protest. We're staying at Friends of Georgetown Park and we have had long discussions of how we're going to provide a livable space for our protesters.
I can provide 10 tents. My family goes camping every summer. The tents are huge and will fit 5 or more people.
We have limited space in the park, so Addie made an organized, sufficient layout.
She said that we're putting the food truck on the far left near the medical tent and the bathrooms on the far right. Near the dumpsters and the tents are going to be pushed back in between the food truck and the bathrooms. In the very center of the Taz, we will have canopies that will be dedicated only for protest meetings. That way, everyone has easy access to everything.
Please make your way to the right to be informed on how we provide food for our protesters.
Besides providing shelter for our protesters, we have to provide food. In our protest group, we thought of a few ways we are going to provide food. One of my classmates' dad owns a food truck. We showed him the Syrian Civil War video, and he was just as inspired as us to do something for the refugees, so he decided to join the protest. The food truck will be located at the park, and he will make all meals with the help of volunteers. He created 5 groups of 10, and each group gets food at a certain time. We will sit on the benches by the food truck.
I set up a donation bin where anyone can drop off any food that they want to donate to us. Apart from the donations and food truck, we will have the protesters bring in some of their food, just in case we don't have enough or in case we don't have enough donations.
Our Water GQ poster will now be on your right.
Lena wrote letters and reached out to charities to help us with donating water gallons, so we have enough water for our protesters. Purifying water won't be a problem because we are staying at a park that has water fountains and faucets.
I came up with the idea to use reusable water bottles and just keep filling it up with water from the water fountains. The park has public bathrooms that have faucets, and that's a way where we can brush our teeth or wash our face.
The water's already purified and clean, so it's safe to drink and use. Lizbeth set up a donation bin where people can bring in plastic water bottles or gallons of water.
Our Waste GQ poster will now be on your right.
Providing water for our protesters is going to be easy. Creating an efficient way of dealing with waste is a little more complicated. I came up with several ways to deal with human waste and garbage. I decided to rent 20 porta potties. Once a week, the porta potty company will come and pick up our human waste and truck it away. We decided that we can use the public bathrooms that are located at the park.
Our first way to deal with the garbage is by having dumpsters, recycling bins, and trash bags throughout our protest site. We will have volunteer groups that take turns picking up trash and taking it to the dumpsters.
Our Heat GQ poster will now be on your right.
Besides creating an efficient way of dealing with waste, we have to think of efficient ways to deal with the weather. Addie is always checking on the weather and looking ahead to see if there's going to be any rainy days.
Washington in summer is usually hot with a breeze here and there, so I'm not too worried about our protesters getting cold. We will wear layers of clothing if it does get cold. If it gets really cold, Rosara made a really cool ceramic pot heater, which are 2 flower pots, one upside down and one on top of the other, enclosing a lit candle inside. And if it gets too hot during the day, we will have canopies up for shade for the people to cool
Our
down.
Health GQ poster will now be on your right.
In our protest group, healthcare is easily available to us. Rosara said that the first and most important thing to have is a medical tent with all basic medicines and medical tools. These will be donated from Medical Team United.
In our Taz, we have protesters that are doctors and nurses, so we have a source of getting an immediate response to people that get injured or sick if Medical Team United volunteers are not available.
Our final poster, which is communication, will now be on your
I
right.
came up with the idea to have a big tent for all protesters to be in at once. This will be a common area in which to discuss our plans, talk about what's happening on social media, and talk about our next steps.
We also need to have communication to the outside world. Our goal is to be very active on social media platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. Rosara, Addie, Lena, Lizbeth, and I made these really cool portable solar-powered chargers for our electronics. So our phones will always be charged and we can always be connecting to people online. Addie is an amazing artist, so she made posters and flyers for the people who are not on social media. They can use our posters to know about and to know when our marches will take place. You may now take off your headphones and make your way to the living room where we will show you our built piece.